Welcome to Friday's Thought for the Day. I hope you've had time to read the readings before we start. Psalm 31. In you I take refuge. So many psalms begin with this statement. David refers to shame and to guilt. Guilt is to do with what we have done. Shame is to do with our identity, a disgrace at who we are. Let me not be put to shame, he said. He does not want to be mocked for God, i.e. for the sake of God's name. He wants to be delivered. There's a great sense of refuge running through these verses in verse 1, 2 and 4. And indeed in verse 3, God is called a rock and fortress, which is pretty much the same thing as a refuge. Keep me free from being trapped. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Familiar words which Jesus quoted from the cross. David comes back to the central issue of worship. He hates those who cling to worthless idols. They are dead, so you must trust in Yahweh, he is saying. God is living, God sees and knows. He intervenes. The idols can't do this, they can't deliver. So when you are in distress, turn to God's promises. Start and end with what God has done and with what God will do. God's character is always greater than our circumstances. So get your trust from his character, not from your circumstances. You may hear whispering terror on every side, but David says, I trust in you, Lord. It's as if he is saying, I wrestle back. I'm trying to get on top of my feelings. My times are in your hands. God is in control of the universe. All is in his hands. All things hold together, we read in Hebrews and Colossians. God controls our times. I put my diary, I put my schedule into his hands. And then at the end of the psalm he says, let your face shine on your servant. Let me not be put to shame. Instead, let the wicked lying lips be silent. And then at the end of the psalm we have great praise. For the future has abundance. Wait for his timing. Wait in refuge, hiding in God, being kept safe by God. In Joshua, we see that he is bent on ensuring that the Israelites know they must follow God, that whatever gods or statues or traditions they have brought with them from former days from living in Egypt, they are to utterly forsake them. They can only have one heart and mind for God. And in Luke, we understand that we are to love one another and that this is utterly vital. Jesus has given us this command to love one another. And for some who are put in positions of teaching and authority amongst the beloved children of God, it is vital that they take care of them. If he or she beats the other slaves, both men and women, and he or she gets drunk, then he or she is not recognized as a faithful follower of Jesus. Our innate actions, our thinking, our doing, our speaking, must be transformed by God's powerful love. Dear Father, come today and by the power of your Holy Spirit, fill my heart with love of you, that I may love others in your name. Be strong and take heart. Wait for God's time. Worship him. Take strength from him. Amen.